Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. This one for a Thursday morning. Nice to have you with us. Lots to do this morning. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Veronica Horn, the president of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. And we'll also hear from some folks with the Saginaw Marine Historical Society. At 11 o'clock, we'll venture over to Auburn, find out what's happening in that community with their outreach. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to talk about one of the political races you will be deciding in the future. And that is the 35th Senatorial Race. And with us this morning, one of the candidates for that race, running on the Democratic side, we say good morning to Kristen McDonald-Rivet. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us. Before we get into your candidacy, maybe a little background on who you are and what you've done in your life, which is extensive.
It's a pretty long question, but let me start by saying I am a mom of 6 kids. 5 of them are adults.
Well, that takes care of the rest of your life.
Middle school.
That takes care of everything.
Right. So I know how to manage complex schedules and multiple personalities on my own home. But I currently and have spent 30 years working in systems on behalf of families and kids. So I most recently was the CEO of Greater Midland Community Centers, which is a network of centers in Midland County serving about 10,000 people, doing early care and education, basic needs supports, and all kinds of other cool things like summer camps and personal fitness. But currently, I've been working with Michigan Future, which is an economic, very wonky, but thinking about how we can shift our economy in Michigan in a way that allows everybody to prosper. So I've spent a lot of time in my life really building and changing policy for families that rewards hard work and allows parents to support their families and have prosperous lives where you go on family vacation and you can send your kids to college or into trades in a way that that allows them to be successful as well.
And you've been involved in politics too, right?
You know, I have. I've got a lot of, we in my family believe in public service. I think that politics, when I came into it in the 80s, I've been around for a minute, is a noble thing to do in order to, to go to the legislature, to go to serve in local elected offices is a really important way of giving back to your community. As a Bay City commissioner, what I love about that is that it's literally helping your neighbors. It's worrying about the things that matter in the day-to-day, the sidewalks, the snow removal, the trash, to listen to family stories and listen and talk to folks. So, that is I've been doing that my whole life.
So you threw your hat into the ring for the new 35th. That's new because of the redrawn lines. What does the 35th cover? How much of the Michigan area do you cover?
Well, it's the Tri-Cities. So this is the first time the Senate district has looked like this. And it starts with in Bay County, it is some of the townships surrounding Bay City to the north and the south, goes all the way down US 10 through Auburn and Larkin Township, some of the townships surrounding the city of Midland, and then on into Freeland, Saginaw Township, city of Saginaw, and Buena Vista. So all 3 counties, but not the entirety of all 3 counties, but all 3 cities are in the district.
Were you satisfied with the way the lines are drawn?
I think that it's important that we come together as a region on multiple levels. So we've been, every decade it feels like the Great Lakes starts to consider itself more of a region. What we do know, there are losing population in this region, in these 3 counties, faster than any other region in the state. That is going to take a while to turn around. And it has to be the ultimate goal of all of us. A single senator that gets up every day and thinks about that issue and that problem and works to build coalitions and tables in order to pull us together and tackle the issues we're all facing in the Tri-County is a good step in the right direction. I didn't weigh in the redistricting process. Quite frankly, never thought I would be running for the state Senate. But as looking at the lines and the way they're drawn now, tremendous potential to help move us forward as a region.
So what made you decide to run? What was the deciding factor?
You know, I'm laughing because I do have a couple of people close to me who said, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah. 6 kids and a husband right now.
6 kids and a husband, right? But it's also that we're living in this political time where politicians are rewarded for dividing us. And I'm watching every year that get worse and worse. So in the last 2 years, I have friends on school boards who've had their lives threatened. And we are seeing protests are a beautiful part of an American democracy suddenly become armed. And it's a really tough political time. But when I looked at the district, and I'm not talking right now about the political lines, I'm talking about what's happening with families and what's happening with our kids and our seniors, and that it gets harder every year to make ends meet. It gets harder every year to pay for the basics, healthcare, transportation, and then to the political art. They don't.
Your phone just fuzzed out.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Now you're better. Yeah, now you're better. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, what's happening in reality in our region and what's happening with families in our region doesn't match the political debate. And when I looked at the district and have been working on the ground in Midland, Saginaw, and Bay, I realized that I was the right candidate to forward that we can bring people together around and start focusing on things that really matter: economy, education, jobs. And there's detail behind that. And I'm hoping to be able to run a campaign and to serve in office in a way that brings us together and doesn't divide us.
There's a pretty strong movement in Lansing right now, headed up by Senator Ken Horn, to develop the kinds of tools the state needs to attract businesses. Something you could sign on to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what we know right now in Michigan is that 59% of our jobs pay less than $47,000 a year. So well over half of us can't support a family at what's considered middle class level. And in our region, that's a particular problem because it's part of the reason we're losing population. So I'm watching my 5 adult kids try to establish their careers outside of our region. And they have to be able to find work here that will economically support them and a family, as well as being able to be in a community. And frankly, when I say community, I mean our region. When you put together what Midland, Saginaw, and Bay City have to offer, it rivals any large urban space anywhere around the country. Mm-hmm. So we have to think about in place, how we are creating attractive places for people to live. We have to think about an education system that is preparing a workforce, whether it's going into a trade or whether it's going on to a 4-year degree, supply the jobs of the future, and be attractive, a talent attraction strategy that will bring higher paying jobs both into the state and especially in this region.
It's interesting the way you put that, because I've said for a long time about the region, how many areas of the country with a population of approximately 400,000 have two, not one, but two symphonies, a couple of theater companies, a couple of dance companies, a couple of choral societies, all kinds of educational opportunities with colleges and universities, major corporations. We've got the whole picture, don't we?
We have Fortune 50 companies. We have a minor league baseball team. We've got tall ships festivals. Incredible. The summertime in the Great Lakes Bay region rivals anywhere in the world. This is a great place to live. I don't think we tell the story well enough. It's partly because we're trying to tell the story as individual communities as opposed to a region. But I also think that I've heard Senator Horn talk about it in this way, but we have to think about it as a talent attraction strategy.
Hang on, Kristen, if you would. I've got to take a break. I want to continue the conversation for a few more minutes. We're talking to Kristen McDonald-Rivet. She's a candidate on the Democratic side for the 35th Senate District, the newly drawn 35th. And we'll have more on that when we return here on WSGW. First, let's play Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is Ty, T-Y, as in Ty Cobb, Ty, T-Y. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists, here on WSGW.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Carl came in on Monday upset because his truck needed more repairs. I completely understand because that's his livelihood. He was ready for something new. So I took him in my office right away and I was able to approve him for an auto loan. He was very happy to be able to leave up his vehicle. He even came back a few hours later just to thank me and show me his new truck. I love being able to turn around someone's day.
Knowing members by name, going the extra mile to help them save money, understanding when they really need help. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Imagine this, winning big with the all-new Ascend Sportsbook. That's right, sports betting is here. Now you can watch and wager on sports in every season all year round. So bring your crew and grab a front row seat for all the action. It's real sports betting now at the Ascend Sportsbook, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. You must be 18 or older to wager. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The number of people filing new claims for employment benefits for the first time declined last week to 166,000. The drop is a pandemic low and a historic low. However, continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, rose to 1.5. Is facing an investigation into how it develops its private label brands and whether it uses information from third-party sellers. The Wall Street Journal says the Securities and Exchange Commission has asked for emails and communications from several senior Amazon executives. Energy company Shell is warning its business could take a $5 billion hit from pulling out of Russia, and Levi Strauss shares are rallying after the jeans giant reported better than expected quarterly sales and earnings. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Saul Martinez couldn't wait to enlist. In Iraq, his vehicle was hit by a projectile improvised explosive device. Saul survived, but he lost both legs, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and lost 2 close friends. Saul now lives in a smart home from the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, which gave him back his independence despite his severe physical challenges. Help heroes like Saul. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-60. Advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Seeing a high fly ball to right. Go to home run! Candelario crushes a 3-run shot.
The countdown is on. Tomorrow it's opening day. Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Talking to Kristen McDonald-Rivet, and she is a Democratic candidate for the 35th Senate District in the state of Michigan. Kristen, you spent a lot of your time in education. How do you rank or assess the education system in Michigan right now?
I think that we need some pretty fundamental changes. So when I think about education, I think about it starting with our early care system and moving through all the way to high school graduation. We have some deep troubles in terms of the way our kids are performing as compared to nationally, other states. But the big problem facing us, the immediate crisis that we're facing, is the teachers that are leaving the profession in droves. And for many of them that I've spent my life talking with, and the folks across the district that I'm talking with now, but what's happened during the pandemic has been not the thing that's causing them to retire or simply leave the profession mid-career, but what is the last straw of over-regulation, over-testing, demonizing of teachers, and a climate that just feels intolerable for them.
You mentioned a key phrase there, over-testing. It seems to me, and I'm certainly not an educator and I'm way outside the system, but it seems to me that over the last couple of decades, we've had to teach to the test rather than the topic. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. And the way that it's the way that the testing works, we have particularly, so when it really came to a space of ridiculousness, was the standardized testing that was done the first year of the pandemic when our kids had missed so much school, where, for particularly young children, had this sense that the very air that they were in was dangerous to breathe. And it's in that space we sat them in front of a computer with a standardized test and said, focus on this for the next hour. There's all kinds of things that we know kids need to be successful adults, and frankly, force. And content is really important. But the other pieces like communication, curiosity, critical thinking, those actually are bigger predictors of adult success. And all we do now in the way we evaluate schools is test rigorously on that content. And the things that are the way that teachers can approach those other spaces is drilled out of them because we're so focused on those tests.
Is there a place
in the way we're evaluating our teachers?
Is there a place for virtual education?
One of the things yes, there's absolutely a place for virtual education, and there are some kids that really thrive in that space. But we know from all kinds of neuroscience tells us, brain science tells us, and frankly, as the mom of 6, I know that the best way you support a kid growing up, or 18, or frankly, I've got a 29-year-old, is through direct personal interaction. So I think that what the pandemic taught us is that having kids who are interfacing and staring at a computer screen every single day does not work for most of them. There are circumstances and places where it's necessary and kids can thrive in that, but it certainly it's not a good substitute for a teacher. Is so fundamentally necessary in front of a teacher, in front of a student, to cheer them on, to put it, to help them go through tough things. We really undervalue that.
I chuckle a lot at that because I chuckle at the fact that these same teenagers will spend their entire day with their thumbs on their phone, but sit them down in front of a computer to learn, and it's not the same thing. It's two different worlds. It's two different worlds.
And a lot of them, if you watch what they're looking at on their phone, it is a substitute for human interaction.
Exactly.
So they're looking at TikTok videos. They're Snapchatting with their friends. But it's conversation. I'm a woman in my 50s. I can't tell you that I understand Snapchat.
Nice.
I can't tell you. It's just too hard.
I'm in my upper 70s. I can guarantee you I can't.
Right. But my kids stay in contact with their friends that way.
Yeah.
But they're not learning and experiencing the world in that way. And that's what our education system needs to do. And it needs to give them room and space to be curious, to ask weird questions, to follow pathways in a way that keeps that spark alive for them.
Kristen, hang on. I want to take a break. I come back. We'll give you time to tell everybody why they should elect you for the 35th Senatorial District. We will be back with more after these notes.
This is Dr. Dennis LaFoon, pastor of Bethel AME Church, and I'm also a member of Saginaw African American Pastors. And we're urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot. The health of our community determines the life of our community. So do your part and take the shot that saves lives. Join us in making Saginaw a community with immunity. For COVID vaccine and testing location information, visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org today.
Annette of families in mid-Michigan. American Conservative Union ranked Annette's voting record 6th most conservative in the state house. We need Annette fighting for families in the state senate. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. 885-7526.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
If you have a small business, let Staples be your shipping partner. I'm generating orders 24/7. I don't have time. Staples has it covered.
A one-stop shipping solution for a business that works nonstop.
Padded mailers in every size and color?
Staples has your shipping covered with packing and shipping supplies and services. Now get 15% off UPS Ground and 20% off UPS Express shipping services. If you need to ship at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 4/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/services/shipping for details.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limo, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize. The cash out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office, remodel your kitchen, or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR. So you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. MLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Wood Beach Marina, then Tom Andrus of the Great Lakes Salmon Initiative. In hour number 2, we're bow hunting for turkeys with Charlie Wiltsey, and Nick Green of MUCC checks in. Then in our third hour, we're talking turkey with Greg Abbas of A-Way Outdoors. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, spending time with Kristen McDonald-Rivet. She is a candidate for the 35th District, Senate District, newly drawn one. And she is on the Democratic ticket. So, Kristen, why should folks vote for you?
Well, thanks for the question. Let me just say this. When I was growing up, my dad was operating engineer. He started his career as an operating engineer, worked in construction, and I was really taught. Like, I watched him get up at the break of dawn, go to work really hard. And I grew up in a way that was taught that will be rewarded, that you can make a good life as long as you work hard every day. But that's not true for all of us anymore. And I am going to go to the state Senate and work on making that true again. And I believe I'm the right candidate because I will work with anybody with a good idea to address our economy, our education system, and our community to make us viable into the future and to make that true for families again.
Let me ask where you stand in the political spectrum, and I'll phrase it this way. If I have a number chart that starts on the far left at number 1 and ends up at the far right on number 10, where would you put yourself in that spectrum?
It's such an interesting question because so much of that has changed in the way it's defined over the last couple of years, but I have always considered myself a moderate right in the middle. I believe in supporting families. I am pro Second Amendment. I am believe very strongly in protecting reproductive rights of women, and believe that everybody, regardless of what zip code you live in, regardless of where you go to church, regardless of your family origin, should have an equal shot at the great American opportunity. So I think that makes me still right in the middle as a moderate. It's what the community is. If you look at the district as a whole, the district stands right 50-50. And that's the kind of leader we need. I don't think that someone who falls very far to the edge on either side of that spectrum.
Well, Kristen, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning. I'm sure we'll do it again down the road, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now. Kristen McDonald-Rivet, she is a candidate for the 35th Senate District on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, of course, Annette Glenn has announced for that same seat. So it should be an interesting race. Two strong women running against each other. Should be an interesting time, to say the least. We'll have a little bit of time here for open phones for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111 is the number to call.
With spring just around the corner, it's time to finish up those last few home projects we've been putting off. Hi, this is Sonia with Westside Decorating. Our new Fresh Coat Paint and Primer in One is scrubbable, makes any less coats, and looks better than conventional latex paints. We've got new floors from Shaw, Tarkett, and Lakeshore. We offer up to 24 months with zero interest financing. Visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or call Westside Decorating Center 989-793-6182.
The will of a farmer is like no other, forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow, new chemistries, seed traits, and technologies, because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on earth.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Where are those receipts? Tax day is nearly here, and Chanel is stressing. Why do I always wait to the last minute? Her small business needs a bookkeeper to crunch some big numbers. None of this adds up. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy a free drink with purchase of a new Chef's Chicken Sandwich. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/online code.
Hey, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, WSGW and Fashion Square Mall are inviting you to bring out the kids and grandkids for some fun Saturday. Fashion Square Mall, it's our kids' world. From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., 3 hours of activities and events. Sponsored by Francis Ray Academy. A family-friendly day for everyone. Powered by Sarah Automotive in Saginaw. Enjoy the bounce houses, brought to you by Bouncing Bellas and MBS International Airport. Easter Bunny Pictures, sponsored by Freeland Sports Zone Summer Camps. An Easter Egg Hunt, sponsored by LifeChurchMichigan.com. A stage for events sponsored by Capoco Credit Union, with some prize giveaways, on-site vendors, and more. Something for all ages. It's our kids' world at Fashion Square Mall. Saturday, April 16th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Presented by Fashion Square Mall and WSGW. Find information online at WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we're going to go to Midland and talk to Chris this morning. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your guest said 3 or 4 things that leave me hanging. I'd like to know what she defines reproductive rights as. I would like to know where she heard of school board members or teachers accosted by people with weapons. And she said something else. Of course, my feeble mind, I didn't write it down. And I appreciate you letting her talk, but I guess on the same side, I wish you would have come back with follow-up questions to things. Let
me explain that. Let me explain that, Chris.
Yep. Go ahead.
I've had both candidates on, and I treat them the same way. If I don't challenge one, I'm not going to challenge the other. I'm just going to let them say their piece and let you make the decision. Okay. When we get closer to the election, if we have both of them on again, that will be the time when I probably will say, well, explain that further, define that for us. And I understand what you're saying. You want to know what she feels about it. The time will come when I will do that. This is very early on yet.
Okay. All right. No, I like I said, I appreciate you just letting her go. But things up in the air that she talked about that leaves me still with a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm. You also heard her say that she's pro Second Amendment?
Yeah, that kind of, right at the end of the conversation, she slips that in.
Actually, she said that. She said that before she talked about reproductive rights. So if you're going to say that was at the end of the conversation, if you're going to say that's at the end of the conversation, so are the reproductive rights.
Right, but that's what I meant. That was about the last 2 minutes of your interview with her. She kind of.
Well, that's when I asked her to tell us why we should vote for her. Yeah, I gave her that time. So listen.
Of course, the non-answer about the redistricting issue. Typical politician. I guess they all do it.
They're all doing that. Yes. Yeah. You can get used to that. That's going to be universal. That's going to be universal. But I will make note of it the next time she's on. I will, ask for further explanations on some of those topics.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Chris, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Okay.
Yep. Saginaw Bay City. No, why am I doing that? It's the same number now all over. 989-752-6111. Errol is in Saginaw. Good morning, Errol.
Can we pick right up on dogs?
Dogs, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to call you yesterday, but now I've had both dogs and cats, okay? So I'm neutral on that part. But when you walk in the house, your dog goes nuts to get you home.
Yep.
Have you ever had cats?
Yeah, they kind of look.
Okay.
Well,
I've had cats that have been gone for 5 days. Okay. When you come back in the house, they look at you home already.
Yeah.
And that you can't leave your dog for 4 or 5 days with food and go away.
No.
You can do that with kitty cats.
Yeah, cats are independent. They are more independent. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
I have one that's laid back, and the other one thinks the top of my head is where she ought to be doing some scratching and that. So when I sit down, I put a hat on. I don't know where she picked that up, but just so you know, I've had both. But I look at you were right. They are independent, and if they want to be near you, they will. If they not, they ignore you.
Yep.
At one time, I had a cat that had a dog both. The cat's favorite job was to get under the couch, and when the dog walked by, squat the dog in the leg, and the dog couldn't get at him. So there are good things about both of them. My daughter's got a golden retriever.
Yeah,
they are fantastic.
They both make good companions. They both make good companions.
I didn't just want to leave it for dogs yesterday. So
I understand that. But it is, it's a dog's world. Let's face it. Even though there are a lot of cats in the world and there are a lot of cat people, the dog triumphs. And if you don't believe it, all you have to do is watch television and see how many commercials have dogs in them, even when the dog has nothing to do with the product. But there's something about a dog. There's just something about a dog, and they're all over. We have our favorite commercial right now is for Chewy, the company that sends you pet products, and it's I
bought from them.
Yeah, it's the little mutt dog and the big Saint Bernard dog, and it's a peanut butter box. Peanut butter box is here. We love that commercial. We recorded it just so we could watch it.
And then they got you've seen the other commercial with the guy that has the cat, and the cat's running.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
The cat was fishing, and then I don't know who thought that up, but it's hilarious.
It is.
And then he's yelling at cat. No, that's the mailman. Don't So whoever thinks up some of them, they are hilarious.
Well, I
don't know who thought that one up, but it was hilarious.
The fact that they are used in marketing shows how much we love them.
Yeah, I know how big your dogs are because I've seen them. Don't you ever get afraid that you're going to step on those little guys?
No, well, we only have one now, but no.
Oh, okay.
No, we know where he is at all times because he lets us know where he is at all times.
Yeah, I know what that's like too. Yeah, so have a nice day, sir.
You too, Earl. Thanks.
It's nice to not talk about politics.
I
There's
agree.
Enough of that crap for everyone. So,
all right.
And they won't let me bomb Putin, so thing of it.
So long.
That's what it's going to take.
Probably. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now. Conversation yesterday, there was a survey about Americans and dogs and how overwhelmingly Americans view dogs as part of their family and would go, to any length to help their pooch. And it was only about dogs. It wasn't about cats. And that's what sparked the conversation that Earl is referring to this morning. Anyway, we're going to take a pause, come back and close out this hour, and then we will tell you what's ahead next here on WSGW.
Hemlock Public School District is proud to announce they are the Innovative District of the Year in 2022. This vibrant school community offers engagement in extracurricular activities from sports, drama, fine arts, robotics, and more. Hemlock Public Schools is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education with programs from the cradle to early middle college. Call us today at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. HemlockPS.com. Hemlock Public Schools. Excellence in education. Enroll today.
Are you ready for a new vehicle? Let us help you finance your dreams at United Financial Credit Union. We've made the car shopping process even easier. Research and compare vehicles, receive free Carfax reports, get an insurance quote, and view local dealer inventory all from the comfort of your own home with the auto shopping feature on our website. Simply visit our website today to start shopping for your next vehicle. If you've already found your perfect vehicle, contact us today to get your auto loan started. We can help you get on the road in your new car. And for a limited time, you can enjoy 90 days with no payments.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work.
where you live. United Financial. Serving the Valley community.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you a do-it-yourselfer or a direct-it-yourselfer?
Every week, overspending on projects they could have handled themselves for lots less money.
And we hear from people who ended up overspending because they tried to do something they should have called in a pro to tackle.
Well, we'll help you sort it out. I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Got a remodeling or a repair project?
We can help you decide whether to do it yourself or direct it yourself this weekend on the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We thank you for being with us this morning. We're heading up toward the top of the hour. We'll have news from CBS. That'll be the national and the international report to bring you up to date on what's happening in the world. Likewise, the local report will fill you in on everything happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. Then we'll move on to the next hour. We'll begin the hour talking to Veronica Horn, the president of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce, and then folks from the Saginaw Marine Historical Society.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Ukraine's foreign minister presented a wish list of 3 things to NATO and G7 leaders in Brussels today: weapons, weapons, and more weapons.
Either you help us now, and I'm speaking about days, not weeks, or your help will come too late.
He is warning of more Russian massacres like the one in Bucha that killed hundreds of civilians. The UN General Assembly meets this hour to vote on suspending Russia from the Human Rights Council over the atrocity. Ukrainian officials are urging people who live in the east to get out now ahead of expected attacks there. Confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination today to become the first Black woman on the Supreme Court. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
A giant step to becoming a more perfect nation.
More than a dozen FBI agents raided an apartment in Washington, D.C. as part of a bust involving 2 fake Department of Homeland Security employees. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
According to the affidavit, Ariane Taherzadeh and Haider Ali created a sophisticated scheme to integrate themselves with federal law enforcement. Court documents show they obtained police equipment, guns, and other items used by federal officers. The pair allegedly gave lavish gifts and paid the rent of some Secret Service agents, one of them assigned to protect First Lady Joe Biden, and allegedly was offered a $2,000 assault rifle by Taherzadeh.
Michigan's Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer has just filed a preemptive lawsuit asking a state court to recognize the right to abortion under the state constitution. Her goal to overturn a 160 effect if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. The Masters is officially underway in Augusta. Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and newbie Tom Watson played their ceremonial tees ahead of the main event, Tiger Woods. He's expected to tee off in about an hour in his first PGA event since a bad car accident a year ago. CBS Sports' Jim Nantz.
I don't think any of the other players are saying, hey, look at me, give me some attention. They love the fact that this tournament has been completely about Tiger. So for those who are expected to do well, they too benefit by this psychologically.
It's opening day at the ballpark. The crack of the first bat will ring out at 2:20 Eastern at Wrigley Field. Kyle Hendricks set to deliver the first pitch of the delayed 2022 season when the Cubs host the Brewers. There are 5 other games on today's schedule as well. The Dow's down 151 points. S&P up 2. The news.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
See the Tigers during opening week and get a great deal with the Miller Lite Party Pack. For any home game between April 9th through the 13th, get a ticket to the game plus a $10 concessions credit for just $20. Just visit tigers.com/value.
Tigers opening day for this Friday. Join the Tigers at the Miller Lite opening day tailgate party at the McLaren Garage Plaza on the corner of Witherell and Montcalm. The party starts at 9 a.m. with live music, beer, giveaways, and more. For info, visit tigers.com/party.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLS ConsumerAccess.org. Over 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 42 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A 15-year-old boy has been arrested for the death of a Saginaw woman on Sunday. 35-year-old Sharday Davenport home at 1203 Dillon Street. Following an investigation, Saginaw police and state police troopers obtained a search warrant and arrested the suspect for open murder. The suspect is being held at the Saginaw County Juvenile Detention Center pending arraignments. Following months of planning, research, and development, the top 11 teams in the 2021-2022 A.H. Nicholas Innovation Award Competition will take the stage April 23rd at the Saginaw Valley State University to present their projects. Here's WSJW's Rick Antonio.
At stake is a share of up to $77,500 in college scholarships for students and STEM education grants for schools. High school teams making Midland's Bullock Creek, Freeland, H.H. Dow, Midland High, Reese, and the Saginaw Arts and Science Academy. The A.H. Nicholas Innovation Award is an annual competition for students ages 13 to 18 in Bay, Midland, Saginaw, and Tuscola counties with a goal of inspiring passion for STEM subjects, challenging them to work in teams, to think innovatively, and develop solutions to problems currently impacting the world. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Congressman Dan Kildee has introduced the Supply Chain Disruptions Relief Act, a new bipartisan legislation to provide tax relief to Michigan car dealerships that are struggling to maintain inventory due to the global semiconductor shortage. Dealerships often use the last-in inventory method, which requires dealerships to maintain a minimum level of inventory at year-end or risk triggering a large tax bill. Global supply chain disruptions caused by the pandemic have led to shortages of critical materials like the computer chips. While with fewer vehicles being produced due to the shortages, auto dealers have struggled to maintain inventory, triggering large, unexpected tax liabilities for many. The Relief Act would allow dealerships to choose to wait until as late as 2025 for their inventory to be replaced to determine the income attributable to the sale of inventory during 2020 or last year. Would all to restock their inventory as the chip supply increases and auto production levels. WSGW News Time 10:07.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you, always.
I just had a conversation with a member who lives near Traverse City. Mildred has been a member with Wildfire in some way, shape, or form for over 50 years. Wildfire is her preferred financial institution. Same for her daughter who lives in Connecticut. Neither one of them has ever stepped foot in any of the Wildfire branches. yet they both receive a level of service to rave about. It just goes to show you that it doesn't matter where you live, Wildfire is here for you.
Resource for your finances, delivering marvelous experiences no matter where you are. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union, distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Contractors tied a single-day record Tuesday with 21 Benton Harbor lead service line percent mark on the way to 100% lead line removals by next spring. Some 375 lines were replaced or verified non-lead during the past 30 days, bringing the total to 890 lines completed. Roughly 3,500 more suspected lines are expected to be replaced during the next year. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has called for the replacement of lead service lines in Benton Harbor in 18 months. Divorce filings are exploding. Jennifer Lindquist, an associate attorney at MichiganDivorceHelp.com, says the figures are up 20% over pre-pandemic levels.
Even still, throughout the past year, filings are just exploding. They're probably up 20% since pre-pandemic.
Before COVID, Lindquist says married couples in general had separate professional lives. Over the last 2 years, many were sharing remote workspace at home, which can cause tension. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures holding rather steady. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and a low near 35. By Friday, a chance for rain here late, cloudy high around 46. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy high around 42. Sunday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high 50. Then by Monday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. We'll see cloudy skies, a high 58 degrees. Tuesday, chance for rain, a high around 61. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit home studio. And we say good morning to the president and CEO of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. She is Veronica Horn. Veronica, good morning.
Good morning, Art, to you and your listeners.
Thanks for being with us this morning. I want to start out. The chamber doesn't get the ARPA funds directly, but you certainly have a voice in the community. Where are we with the ARPA funding, and what do you want to see happen with it?
Oh, goodness. Well, no, we don't get ARPA funds. The chamber is part of the City of Saginaw committee, an advisory committee, taking a look at how ARPA categories and what projects that can be funded, certainly with City Council approval, that will have a transformational impact on a community and be sustainable. So, we're looking at a number of projects, and there are many great organizations out there that would love to see some of this ARPA funding, but it's one-time money. I mean, it's one-time money, and I'm going to reserve any comments about how much money was spent by the federal government of our money to be, redistributed. But I think with this one-time funding, we really need to make this have an impact and be around so that when our kids and our grandkids 50 years down the road can turn around and look at the community and say, that's what they did with that money. It was a great investment.
How long do you think it's going to take before we get it all done? It has to be done by what, the 2024 deadline or something like that?
Yeah, certainly. I think, the city would like the ARPA advisory committee to wrap up by June. So we have a fairly aggressive, we're meeting, in fact, this afternoon, and they are open meetings. Anybody can join, and listen in. But we have a fairly aggressive schedule working with the consultants. They're really giving us a good overview of how that money can be spent. But we've done some brainstorming as to some of the projects that could be funded, and from there, I think we'll be scoring them in order of what's important for the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce, let's say, for me on that board, and then, but there are 15 of us, and we all have the ability to weigh in on what's most important. But I think by the end of the year, certainly, City Council will act. I'm hoping the county board is, and they're also moving forward. I'm not clear on their process, but I know that they are vetting. They're using the same consultant, which is a good thing. I think it gives us a consistency between the city and the county, and looking at how maybe we can, use partial county, partial city dollars to make those transformational projects happen.
Let me ask about the business health in Saginaw County. We came through the pandemic. It certainly impacted business greatly, particularly the hospitality industry. And now a lot of these businesses are having trouble finding labor. When we hear unemployment numbers are down and all of that, yet there's signs everywhere for help wanted. What's the health of the business community right now?
Well, everybody around the country, around the nation is looking for help. We're no exception, certainly. But, there, and again, we saw this coming. We knew 10 years ago, boomers were going to retire. And when people aren't having babies at the same rate as, 30 and 40 years ago, and then COVID simply exacerbated it. We lost a lot of people through death and through, maybe disability. And then boomers are retiring on top of it. Some people, maybe in the mid or towards the end of their career that may have worked another 10, 15 years, just are hanging it up. So I think the health of the businesses is good. We have strong, people that really have a drive and love this community and love what they do in their business. My concern right now, and this talk of the R word, scares the devil out of me. We have got to stop printing money. We really have got to get a grip on this, and again, yesterday, the president put off student loan payments again. And so, these are the kinds of things that cost money in the end. It's got to be paid. So we continue to spend money. Instead of, in my opinion, in Veronica Horn's opinion, instead of, letting the oil companies start to drill and produce more oil and become a net exporter once again, instead of relying on countries that hate us, Venezuela, for God's sake, or now dipping into our strategic reserve. These are all short-term fixes that are not going to be good in the end. And we always seem to not have a lot. And if we do, it's still Pollyanna. There is definitely, I am a supporter of all forms of energy, but at the current rate, we seem to be taking only alternative energy and not our conventional energy. And so those are all factors into what's happening with inflation. Those are all factors. And so I have a concern for my member businesses.
Let's talk about business for a minute, because your husband, Senator Horn, has been leading the charge to change the way we solicit businesses to move into the state of Michigan or keep the ones here that are here. Where are we with that, and how successful are we going to be against the Tennessees of the world, where they have cheap energy and they're literally giving away money?
Well, it's always, whether it's Tennessee, Kentucky, or, Texas or Florida, we're always going to have competition. Michigan had found itself in a position where we had nothing for the Michigan Economic Development Corporation to work with, no tools, no incentives. And so certainly when Ford, announced Blue Oval down in Tennessee and Kentucky, they're going to go where there are incentives, where there is land. And so they made their choice. And we recognized it, and certainly Ken recognized it. That announcement was a catalyst, I think, for the current administration to really work across the aisle. One of the first times that's happened in the last 4 years. And so we were encouraged by that. They seem to be, during an election, amenable to doing more bipartisan things together. And so let's take advantage of that without political comment. Let's take advantage of it because it's the right thing to do. And good policy always makes for good politics.
You have been in and around the political world your whole career. You worked in the political arena. Your husband is obviously a politician. And you have a PAC at the chamber, which offers up lobbying on certain issues. I want to talk about Whitmer just for a moment. Prior to her becoming governor, everyone I talked to said, "Oh yeah, Jennifer Whitmer, she's a moderate. She'll cross the aisle. She'll work with everybody." And then she became governor. What happened?
I think maybe you saw the real person come through. And I know very well both sides of the aisle. This is not criticizing one side or the other because I've worked.
You've worked on both sides of the aisle.
I have. But you always want to moderate. You have to look at a primary election and then a general election, and those are two different people, right? So in the primary election, you're going to want to attract your base. If you're a Republican, you want to talk to your base and say the things
they want to hear.
They want to hear.
Yeah.
And same goes with the Democrat. When you get to a general election, now Clinton so aptly put it, triangulate and come back to the center somewhat more to attract the independents and maybe some folks from the other side of the aisle. Ken has never done that.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. And I ask some, maybe a few more probing questions. The chamber asked somewhat more probing questions. I'll tell you what, one of the questions that we will ask every candidate, full transparency, give me what grade would you give the governor? And then tell me why.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I want them to expound, and not just that. We tend to stick to this region when we ask questions. I'm going to I disagree with Ken on a number of things, but I'm still married to him. I still vote for him, and that's the same goes for me with candidates. I'm not going to tell you that I vote straight ticket because I never have in my life voted
me
straight
either.
ticket. I vote for the person and what they can do for this community. I don't care what political persuasion you are.
Let me ask.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me ask this quick question. I got to take a break here, but you worked for the late Bob Traxler for a long time. Are we ever going to see Bob Traxlers in politics again?
Well, honestly, Jim Barsha was like that.
Well, yep.
And Ken is like that. He's the first one to step out and said, "Let me get to know you. Let's sit down." We've had more people from the opposite party in our backyard just to sit and talk as real people. That's where you get stuff done.
No, I know at a meeting we were at recently, it was Ken and Amos O'Neill talking about developing business in Michigan. So
Yeah.
I got to take a break. Hang on, Veronica. We'll come back. We're talking to Veronica Horn, President and CEO of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. More ahead after these notes.
Business trip coming up soon? Finally, taking that much-needed vacation. MBS International Airport is your premier airport for personal and business travel. With services through Delta and United Airlines, you will feel upgraded as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org and let us help you see the world.
The CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Behold the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. This isn't some bean counter. Today's CFO is critical to the strategy, growth, and profitability of the business. But in growing companies, there are two kinds of CFOs. One who's struggling to keep up with spreadsheets everywhere, manual processes, errors, and lack of visibility into the numbers. It takes weeks to close the books. And one who's on top of their game, automated reports and HR flow into the financial model seamlessly. Insights coming with the click of a button. This CFO uses NetSuite by Oracle with visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. NetSuite is everything you need to grow all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Like I said, the CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Head to netsuite.com/radar for a special one-of-a-kind financing offer. netsuite.com/radar. NetSuite.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. Enjoy a free drink with purchase of a new Chef's Chicken sandwich. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/online code.
It's time to play the WSGW Baseball Bucks presented by Stone Specialists. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is bird, as in Mark the Bird Fidrich, B-I-R-D. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks presented by Stone Specialists on WSGW.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower, but then the NASDAQ turned higher after another report confirming the tight labor market. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits last week dropped by 5,000 to 166,000. Shell is predicting its business could take a $5 billion hit from stopping purchases of Russian crude and other operations in Russia. Berkshire Hathaway has purchased part of HP Inc., the computer and printer company formerly known as Hewlett-Packard, and HP shares are higher. Warren Buffett's investment firm revealed in a government filing it now owns an 11% stake in HP. Levi Strauss is seeing people returning to stores and is predicting sales will be up this year. Its recent quarter was stronger than forecast. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40. Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle.
Why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSW online poll involves Michigan's criminal justice system, with former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, who did spend time in prison for perjury and promoting an initiative to allow prisoners an opportunity to reduce sentences. It's called the Initiative. Could reduce a prison sentence through productive activities such as taking college classes, anger management, rehab from substance abuse, even credit for being a veteran. Michigan is one of 11 states that do not have any earned time or good time laws in place for prison populations. Signature gathering is going on now to try and advance the initiative. Our poll question: law in Michigan to allow prisoners to reduce their sentences using a good time law or any earned time. Yes, no, or you're not sure. Make your votes by going to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and access the vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We're talking to Veronica Horn, the president and CEO of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. We talked a little bit earlier, Veronica, about business health, particularly after the pandemic. So I guess the next question is, what's the health of the chamber? How are you doing with membership?
We are doing very well. In fact, we've, reassigned some jobs, and we have a new sales director, Eugene Seals, who is just in addition to the chamber staff.
Yep.
We've got a lot more, many smaller new startup businesses joining the chamber, and I think they're starting to see the benefit of networking and some of the affinity programs that we have at the chamber that can help their bottom line. So it's really encouraging to see starting to bubble up in this region. We've always, historically have been kind of a one-trick pony where everything was based on manufacturing. And over the last 20 to 30 years, we've had a real focus to diversify, looking at that manufacturing expertise, but how does that apply to the medical industry, now the aerospace industry, autonomous vehicles, and people are coming up with some ideas. I talked a little bit at PERC this morning about some of the opportunities in the space technology. SpaceX and Blue Horizon. SpaceX, a little company owned by Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And he's building a site in the Upper Peninsula because of being above the 45th parallel is how they want to launch their satellites. They're out of the FAA traffic pattern and all of that. And so what are the opportunities that we in the Great could do to tie into that? A couple of kids from Michigan Tech engineering program, they're tied into SpaceX, sitting around in their dorm room thinking, I wonder how you get that trash out of outer space when they throw stuff off of a rocket or whatever. And they actually are forming a company to do that. So the world is changing quickly. Use the expertise we have to plug into that, whether it's, again, autonomous vehicle legislation, whether it's aerospace, no matter IT, no matter what it is. And those are the kinds of jobs that can be done almost anywhere.
There's an old adage, build it and they will come. If you can get companies here, will the workers return?
I think certainly they will. Again, they can, people today, there's so much more flexibility, and thanks to, in spite of, we all learn to work remotely. It's a whole new discipline. It depends on the company, of course. Certainly, a business like the Chamber does much better when we are face-to-face because we're about events, we're about putting people together, and there's a more, you have more creativity when you're in a room together, work, Zoom call. However, some of these jobs are going to continue working remotely. So we've got a keen eye on commercial real estate, how many buildings actually, if a company has 40% of their workforce working from their homes, do they need the building that they're in? So, so then our job is to help with Saginaw Future, certainly taking the lead in how do you repurpose a building like that, what could go in there. So it's a shifting economy, and we're trying to stay ahead of the curve on that.
How do you define the mission of a Chamber of Commerce?
Well, funny you should ask that, Art, because we just went through strategic planning.
Oh.
And here we are. And I will tell you what our mission statement is now that the board has officially approved it. The mission, the vision of the Chamber of Commerce, Saginaw County Chamber, is to create a thriving economy in Saginaw County and beyond. And our mission is we lead on behalf of business. We communicate, connect, and influence. Pretty much runs the gamut of what our purpose is, what we do.
Well, the Chambers...
We communicate good information. Again, going back to COVID, we got our member businesses in the community, frankly, information quickly in English, government language in English to our businesses so they could take advantage of the available. We connect people, certainly our events, they're networking, at every turn, and member to member, getting us to support our local membership, and then influence comes in the sphere of government affairs. We work very hard to get legislation passed, or we oppose legislation that would hurt the economic environment, and we support legislation that will help our communities in this Great Lakes Bay region.
All right, hold that thought, and we'll come back for one more segment and talk about that. We're talking to Veronica Horn. She is the president and chairman of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced law in mid-Michigan for over 3 decades. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned about estate planning, asset protection planning, avoiding nursing home costs, and how to save the family farm. Would you like to understand more? Offering 3 free e-booklets about estate planning, farm succession planning, and Medicaid planning.
To get your free e-booklet, go to jerryrifelawyer.com to download any or all of the e-booklets or call 989-790-1461 to request a copy.
My e-booklet, Understanding Medicaid, describes Medicaid, Medicare, and the difference between them. If estate planning is confusing to you, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning Basics, and you'll find that it is a helpful guide for your future planning. If you have a farming operation and want to save it for future generations, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning for Farmers.
If you want any of these free e-booklets, go to jerryrifelawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 to request your free copy.
Annette Glenn pledged she'd fight to cut car insurance costs. Inflation giving drivers more choice, reducing premiums. Coming soon, a $400 refund check per vehicle. Annette Glenn got the job done. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters and focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Back with you as we continue our conversation with Veronica Horn from Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. You have the mission statement. The chamber's about 150 some odd years old. And 159.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go back 100 years, 125 years, would the mission statement been very different? Other than
Nope.
technology,
And that's
obviously.
exactly why we came up with a mission statement that can live throughout time. Many, sometimes they can get real. I wanted it simple and straightforward. This is what we do, and this is who we do it for. So I think it would be very similar at the time. 100 years ago, we were transitioning into the automotive manufacturing community. And now we're transforming into a much more diverse economy, real keen focus on, we have a medical school in this community. We have a keen focus on getting great healthcare, exceptional healthcare to the underserved population. We have a keen focus on mental health services. That CMU Medical School is really a treasure and is very promising for future development, future talent attraction. There are more jobs than just medical jobs. It's all the ancillary services that go, something like that. Yeah. So, we think the mission statement is appropriate, and it will help drive us to do what we do.
How important is regionalization?
It's critical. I think you heard one of the people that you interviewed earlier talk about the loss of our losing population in this area. We had an older population to begin with. And so when people can live anywhere they want to live, we've lost population. We also in the past have not done a great job of trying to convince our kids or giving them a reason to stay in this region. Now, I think, generationally, or this, you've seen it, I've seen it. My parents left rural and moved to the urban area. They moved to Detroit for jobs. Then came the boomers, and they wanted McMansions, and they wanted bigger property, and they wanted subdivisions and all that. And then you have this trend back to the urban areas. But so many of them have been, there was disinvestment for whatever reason, and now we're trying to redevelop those cores. But Bay, Saginaw, and Midland are unique communities in and of themselves. Each have their strengths, each have their weaknesses, but together we're a powerful force. And so we have to work together, find our commonalities, because let's take Midland. You work at Dow, it doesn't mean you live in Midland. You work at NextTier, doesn't mean you live in Saginaw. You work at Michigan Sugar. We are a one entity, distinct cities. So we've got to work together and exploit the best of each community.
So is there a cooperative meeting of the minds between Saginaw, Bay, the Midland Business Alliance, and all of those organizations?
Oh, certainly. Until recently, it was Ryan Tarrant, and he has left for another position. But you have Tony Stamas, and Tony and I have known each other for 20 years together. Him as a legislator, me as working for a legislator, and then being at the chamber. So we have a great synergy. We're all on the same path. We're in the midst of selecting a new president for Bay. Those are some of the qualities we're going to be looking for, as someone who is interested and not be, isolated away as their own separate community, because we live or die with one another.
Mm-hmm.
I think our work will continue. The chambers and economic development organizations get along very well. We get it. If the economic development organization can attract somebody who says, hey, I want a piece of land in Bay City, that's reason for all of us to celebrate. We're no longer like, no, I'm only going to say you can only come to Saginaw. I mean, it's got to be in this region.
Yeah.
So those efforts continue. We get it.
All right. Listen, Veronica, I appreciate your time this morning, as always. Always fun to chat with you, and we will do it again down the road. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
That's great. Thank you all
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Veronica Horn, she's the president and CEO of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. We thank you for joining us. When we come back, we are expecting to talk to a couple of folks from the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society about an upcoming event, and that will happen in a few moments.
Service Master by Fusen, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration experts. Did you know if your home or business has experienced damages of any kind, whether it be from a fire, flood, or smoke, it's crucial that you get the quality, timely restoration services you need so that you can quickly get back to normal. With 24/7 emergency services, Service Master by Fusen offers commercial and residential restoration services. Visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 989-200-4929. Service Master by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Exterior and protect it with Atlas Roofing. Atlas shingles are built with beauty, durability, and value in mind. All Atlas shingles have a limited lifetime warranty and are all 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through April 9th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden It's TP goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one, lasts forever. Only super mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too, using cutting-edge approaches. Pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation, real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
You can hear about the cultural contributions and concerns of the Hispanic community in the Great Lakes Bay region on one of WSGW's new public affairs program. I'm Larry Rodarte, publisher of Mi Gente magazine, and I'm inviting you to join us for Sunday evenings at 8 p.m.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we're going to turn our attention now to a program coming up in the near future for the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society. A couple of folks with us this morning. First of all, from the society, we say hello to Don Morin. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank
Also
you.
with us, the presenter of this upcoming program. We say good morning to Mike Mishler. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. How you doing?
Doing well. Don, give us an overview of what Mike is going to be doing, and then we'll talk to Mike about it.
Well, he's going to present Mike is an award-winning photographer, at least 18 major awards for photography, and it's featured the waterways and lighthouses and ships of the Great Lakes region and the Saginaw River. Some people don't consider the Saginaw River as photogenic, but through the eyes of the right lens, he'll further elaborate, I'm sure. And there's stories that will perpetuate around each of one of these award-winning photographs.
And when is this going to be happening?
This will be 6:30 this Saturday at Trinity Episcopal Church Fellowship Hall, the corner of Center and Grant. Use the rear entrance. So that's 6:30 this Saturday, and it's free, open to the public, no membership or anything else required, and we double your money back if you're not satisfied.
And Mike, I know you're an award-winning photographer, but that's not your career, is it?
No, I'm a firefighter. Ian, I worked out part-time as a firefighter out of the Holly area.
And you've been doing that a long time?
Yeah, like 34 years, 35 almost. Yeah.
So what got you into photography?
And my grandfather, both my grandfathers were big into trains and Great Lakes freighters, and kind of sparked the interest with me. And then I got tired of buying other people's photography, so I wanted to take my own, save myself some money. Basically started from there, and just capturing the beauty of our state, which includes, of course, Saginaw River and, our waterways, our state that's beautiful, and, stuff like that. So,
well, tell us a little bit about the program. What types of photos are we going to see?
We're going to see some, well, I want to start out with the Saginaw River, of course, and the freighters, trains, and stuff like that I've caught, including the Saginaw River Range Lighthouse. And then I recently took a couple tours of the Arthur M. Anderson, one of the ships, the famous ship that was behind the behind the Fitzgerald that before it sunk, and last one to talk to it. I actually got to just do a tour. I'm going to show some pictures of, just give it a tour. Not many people get to see what it's like to be on a freighter and the backstory of it in a sense. So I'm going to give some shots there, and I also am on the board of directors here in Holly for the Holly Union Depot. We're trying to move it. We got the Save the Depot fund in a sense. So I'm going to show some pictures of the depot because it really has a connection with Saginaw, Bay City, through Lake State Railway. They go right by our depot anytime they haul any freight through our town. So I'm going to show some pictures of that too. Just give historical society a little idea of what we're dealing with down here too with the depot. So
the Anderson, the ship that you mentioned, she's not in service anymore, is she?
No, she still is. Yep.
She still is in service.
Yeah.
Wow.
Making runs from Gary, Indiana, and delivering goods all over the Great Lakes, from Duluth to Gary, all over.
Were there any surprises when you boarded her and started to photograph her?
Just the history hit me when I boarded her. It just was, once you're on it, it's amazing. And the steam engine is still on it and stuff like that. It was pretty good. It was pretty cool. I won't lie about that. So it was overwhelming just knowing what it did that night with the Fitzgerald, talking to him, and sitting, going up into the cabin and just be like, wow.
Was it moving when you were on it, or was it docked?
No, it was docked. It was in dry dock. Yeah.
Have you done anything with the Coast Guard?
I've been on a few of those ships. A little funny story. My daughter, Linnea, who I kind of named Lynn Cat, the photography after. We went on the Thunder Bay, which is a ship out of Maine, which is one of the icebreakers out of Maine. But it was up here doing a tour during the winter season a few years back. And we were doing a tour, and they had her we went into the engine room, and the guy said to my daughter, hey, little girl, you want to shoot a torpedo? And she goes, she looked at me and she goes, yeah, I want to shoot. I'm like, I didn't know the Coast Guard had torpedoes, but sure, you go ahead, So I had this little button, and he said, put your hand on it. We'll get permission from the bridge to shoot it. So we got permission, and he goes, all right, little girl. And she pressed the button, and I went, woo! And wow, did I shoot it? Like, yeah, no, I don't think that happened. But
Yeah,
it was fun.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I've been on the Alder and the Hollyhock, a couple of the buoy tender. Just as tours, not on a ride or anything. But,
Yeah.
they were docked and got a tour. But yeah, I've been on. I used to work Charlottesville EMS. Was on a couple of rescues where the Coast Guard showed up, and it was interesting to see action. So
I think one of my joys was riding the Mackinac when it was in service.
Wow!
During ice breaking, when it first opened up the river, heading north up toward the Sioux, and it's a special time when you're on those ships. It really is. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's just my first ship I ever toured was the Paul Jagurtha, and I got the luck of being there at opening day at the Sioux Locks when it first Sioux Lock opens up, and it was sitting at the lock. And I'll never forget. I was doing a newsletter or something for one of our groups, and so I'm on the bridge and just looking. I'll show that picture Saturday night, but just looking from the bridge to the locks, and like, there's just no way. I mean, it just looks like how these captains do it. I have no clue.
I know. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
So, Don, tell us a little bit about, for those that are not familiar, tell us about the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society.
The Saginaw River Marine Historical Society was founded about 30 years ago as kind of a coffee clutch group, and they found that there was more and more people interested in preserving the history of the Saginaw River and the connecting waterways, and different folks had artifacts and research. So they started to get together on a monthly basis, and from that, we've put on programs every year for the last nearly 30 years, 7 to 8 programs every winter. And now we have a new location at the Bay City Mall near the fountain, 4 times larger than what we had previously near the entrance. So we have a nautical store with different souvenirs and of the lighthouse here in Bay City, and photographs of lighthouses and ships that we have for sale, and also exhibits of the various shipyards that were here in Bay City in days gone by, and artifacts from those shipyards. And we're in the process right now of moving the oldest surviving boat built in Bay City in 1913 from the Defoe Shipbuilding Company. We're going to move that into the mall here in the next few days. And then we're moving forward with the preservation of the lighthouse this year. A lot of work's going to get done on the lighthouse to get it open to the public.
All right, remind everybody again about Mike's presentation of whens and wheres.
Okay, it'll be 6:30 this Saturday at Trinity Episcopal Church in the Fellowship Hall to the rear of the building. That's on the corner of Center and Grant in Bay City.
And is there a cost?
Nope, it's free, and double your money back if you're not satisfied.
Very good.
We have great refreshments also, and it's a beautiful montage of folks from the area. We have folks drive clear from Tawas and clear from Port Huron for our programs.
And Mike, we thank you for joining us and telling us a little bit about what you do. We look forward to the presentation this coming Saturday.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's very much an honor to be a part of this presentation. I do appreciate it.
We appreciate you being with us. Thanks. And Don, as always, thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, thanks again. Until next time. Take care.
You bet. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
With spring just around the corner, it's time to finish up those last few home projects we've been putting off. Hi, this is Sonia with Westside Decorating. Our new Fresh Coat Paint and Primer in 1 is scrubbable, makes any paint job go faster in less coats, and looks better than conventional latex paints. We've got new floors from Shaw, Tarkett, and Lakeshore. We offer up to 24 months with 0 interest financing. Visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or call Westside Decorating Center 989-793-6182.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Saginaw Jelly Ball, located at 906 Lapeer Avenue in downtown Saginaw. You are going to get a team of 12 for Jelly Ball for only $150. Saginaw Jelly Ball is the first ever 3D blacklight Jelly Ball arena in the country and Michigan's only 3D Jelly Ball arena, just blocks away from the Dow Event Center. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds a haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Thank you for joining us. News coming up at the top of the hour from CBS and the local report. Then we'll be back with Focus to focus on Auburn and the Auburn Outreach. All of that is ahead this morning here on WSGW. And if you can't stick around for Focus, we'll join you tomorrow on our Friday edition. Talk to you then.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studio. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Futterman at the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, where Tiger Woods is about to return to competitive golf 14 months after a car crash that nearly took his life. The world's former #1 golfer, now 46 with a surgically repaired leg, is scheduled to begin his first round in the next few minutes. He says he's ready. The toughest challenge could be walking.
I can hit it just fine. And I don't about what I can do physically from a golf standpoint. It's now walking is the hard part.
And the Augusta course from start to finish is more than 4 miles. The fans here today say they want to see what he can do.
It's really exciting, and it'll be incredible to see if he can make the cut this weekend and play well.
But simply just being able to play today will be a remarkable feat for Tiger Woods. I'm Steve Futterman at the Masters in Augusta. Now with more CBS News, here's Steve Kathan.
Well, Steve, a big day in the U.S. Senate is shaping up for the first black woman to be nominated to the Supreme Court. Here's CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Ketanji Brown Jackson has enough votes to be confirmed as the first Supreme Court. We're expecting that vote to happen at around 1:45. And when that does happen, she will have the distinction that is pretty rare here on Capitol Hill, and that is confirmed with bipartisan support.
NATO has heard a plea for more weapons from Ukraine's foreign minister. Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Dmytro Kuleba told reporters at NATO headquarters Russia's new offensive in the east is underway.
The battle for Donbass will remind you was Second World War.
He said the Russians will use planes, artillery, thousands of vehicles and troops.
Either you help us now, and I'm speaking about days, not weeks. Help will come too late.
He said the Bucha massacre is just the tip of the iceberg.
There's word from Washington that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has tested positive for COVID-19. She is said to be asymptomatic. She is vaccinated and boosted. In Washington, 2 men are accused of impersonating federal agents. One tried to cozy up to someone on the First Lady's security detail. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says the arrests followed an apartment raid.
The Secret Service says those involved are now restricted from accessing agency facilities, equipment, and systems, but there's no word on whether further disciplinary action may be taken. Investigators haven't revealed the motive, but according to the pair have been pretending to be federal law enforcement for the past couple of months, and what their end game exactly is remains unclear.
Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is down about 200 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier. Homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Word SECURE to 989898.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Gravity skies and 45. Good morning, I'm Mike Kirchhoff. The Saginaw Elementary School principal of Chester Miller Elementary will not have, Saginaw Elementary School will not have classes today. That's Chester Miller Elementary because of the death of Principal Robert Uberoth. Grief counselors will be available at the school both days. A statement on the Facebook page of the district says Mr. Uberoth had a deep passion for the development of students physically, socially, and athletically, and displayed that passion in each of his roles. He will be deeply missed by Chester Miller Elementary and the Saginaw Public Schools family. A parents group is calling for the termination of the superintendent of Mount Pleasant Public Schools after an alleged racist attack by a staff member on a student of color. The National Parents Union says Superintendent Jennifer Verlager has failed to act after a behavioral specialist slapped an 11-year-old student in the face on Monday, while 3 of the student's friends were also a staff member for trying to leave a gymnasium. The union says Verlager had also failed to hold accountable staff members who strip searched and locked a Black and Indigenous student in a room with no windows or furniture after another student falsely accused him of having a firearm. The district has also been sued by Jimmy Hoffmeyer, father of a biracial girl whose hair was cut by a teacher after a student cut her hair. The parents' union says Verlager allowed the staff member involved in the slapping incident to return to work until questioned by police. WWTV 9 and 10 reports the staff member was placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of a police investigation. The union says Verlager needs to be fired immediately, and an investigation should be launched by the Michigan Department of Education and the Department of Justice into discriminatory and unlawful practices at the district. WSGW News Time 11:07.
M&R Garage Door wants to invite everyone to stop by their showroom to see what's new with garage doors. They want to agree that replacing your old garage door with an M&R door can instantly transform the look and curb appeal of your home more than any other exterior improvement. They can professionally install your garage door and opener. M&R has trained staff to stand behind and warranty their work. Call 894-0971. That's 894-0971. M&R Garage Door. Service is their specialty.
My name is Bishop Larry Campbell. I serve as the pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Cathedral and a member of the Saginaw African American Pastors. I am urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID-19 vaccination shot to safeguard yourself and your family. Join us in making Saginaw a community with immunity. For COVID testing and vaccination, visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Michigan ranks number 4 when it comes to the nation's best place. Survey by Lawn Love took in 17 key factors in drawing up the rankings. Michigan is first when it comes to campsite activities and 7th for the number of campsites that have toilets. The state is first in the number of campsite deaths as well. The best place to camp was California, followed by Washington and Minnesota. Detroit Regional Chamber's CEO and President Sandy Barua released the State of Education report. She says college enrollment is suffering from a leaky education pipeline. He says for every 100 Detroit area ninth graders, 81 graduate high school, 60 pursue college, with 33 earning a degree. Barua says the goal is to increase that from 33% to 60% years.
We're going to need them today. We're going to need them tomorrow. And any of these post-secondary credentials is good for individuals, is good for their families, is good for communities, let alone the fact that it's good for businesses.
Barua says hitting that 60% goal will help increase overall income by $51 billion. Today is National Beer Day. According to beerinfo.com, the day is celebrated in the United States every year on April 7th, marking the day that the Cullen-Harrison Act was enacted after having been signed into law by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt on March 22nd, 1933. This led to the 18th Amendment being repealed December 5th, 1933, with ratification of the 21st Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. April 6th, the day prior, known as New Beer's Eve. When you see news happening, call WSGW at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures holding rather steady. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and a low near 35. By Friday, a chance for rain here late, cloudy high around. On Saturday, mostly cloudy, high around 42. Sunday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high of 50. Then by Monday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. We'll see cloudy skies, a high 58 degrees. Tuesday, chance for rain, a high around 61. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 43.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Focus is brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. Roof Max with 2 X's. Today, we welcome back Robin from the city of Auburn to find out what's happening in the Auburn area. Robin, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Last time we talked a lot about parks and things happening with the park system. How is it coming along?
We're really excited about spring season. We've got a lot coming up for spring and summer, and we welcome all folks from the Great Lakes Bay region to come and visit our beautiful parks.
Any improvements or design changes in the parks?
You're going to see a lot more beautiful this year along our boulevard. There's going to be a little bit of lighting happening, but the big change is going to start this fall as we begin to redevelop the 1.2 mile walking path with a 8 to 10 foot wide hard surface from a grant that we got from the DNR. So we're super excited about that. But please come and enjoy our park all summer long and see the beautiful plantings that we have out there.
And where is that walking path going to be? Which park?
City Park that is right off of 9 Mile Road. It's also called Auburn Road. You can see it from US 10. There's a giant pavilion. In fact, that's where our farmers market takes place. And the path is going to go all the way through the park and around the pond.
Let's talk about the farmers market for a minute because that season isn't that far down the road.
It's not.
When does it normally operate?
We will be open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 until 5:30, and we open on June 14th. Now, our always super exciting. This year, we are going to celebrate that opening day with the Bay County Library System. They're going to kick off their summer reading program, so they're going to have tons of stuff for kids and families to do on our opening day. And I'm also super excited that this year we have finally gotten approved to accept SNAP coupons. So we have several food assistance programs at our market, SNAP being one of them. We also do WIC Project Fresh and the Senior Market Fresh programs. And we have a market munch age 4 to 14. You come and see me, I'll give you $3 of munch cash, and you can buy fruits and vegetables at our farmers market.
Is there an Auburn website where people can get all this information and look at upcoming events?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can visit auburnfm.com, and that goes directly to our farmers market. And the city website is auburnmi.org. So you can visit either site and get to all of our city information, also the farmers market information.
All right, hang on. We'll be back talking to Robin from Auburn, and the Auburn Outreach, and letting you know what's happening in that great community right in our midst. Let me ask how you slept last night, because, you know, in this world we live in today, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, theoretically anyway, you really need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1 hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. You don't have to wait around all day. And by the way, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress to your exact size, something the box stores can't do. Visit Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com. or give them a call at 989-753-1757. Time now to play WSGW Baseball Bucks, presented to you by Stone Specialist. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is Jack, as in Jack Morris, J-A-C-K. Now, for Media Company-wide contest, you must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Baseball Bucks, presented by Stone Specialists here on WSGW.
Inside your home or business. The weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751. Business trip coming up soon? Finally, taking that much-needed vacation. MBS International Airport is your premier airport for personal and business travel. With services through Delta, you will feel upgraded as soon as you walk through the door. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org and let us help you see the world.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
When you write a check or pay a bill online and something goes wrong, even the best of us gets rattled. I recently took extra time with a member experiencing that kind of frustration. Gina paid some recurring charges she suspected she no longer owed. I looked far back, complete list of her payments. This allowed her to stop payment with confidence. She told me she could not have done it without me.
Treating members like family, going above and beyond to lend a hand when it matters most. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be. Where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Saginaw Jelly Ball, located at 906 Down Saginaw. You are going to get a team of 12 for Jelly Ball for only $150. Saginaw Jelly Ball is the first ever 3D blacklight Jelly Ball arena in the country and Michigan's only 3D Jelly Ball arena, just blocks away from the Dow Event Center. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we're back with you on Focus. Today focusing on that great new community of Auburn with Robin. So Robin, let's talk about some of the businesses in Auburn. For example, restaurants.
Well, we do have, of course, O's Restaurant that's located right on Midland Street. That's family dining. And also, of course, we've got our fast food restaurant.
Yeah, of course. You got to have that. I want to go about O's. I've been to O's before when they've had their steak nights. They still do those?
Yeah.
Oh, they're wonderful.
I believe that they do. Yes, I believe they do. So nice atmosphere and great food.
It is. It's it's nice coming into a community like Auburn because there's a certain hometown feel to it, if you know what I mean.
Definitely, it's a safe town, a family town, and we love to welcome folks to come in and visit us. I do have a story to kind of warm your heart this morning, Art.
Sure.
We have a outing coming up. It's for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but this is being hosted by a young lady named Shaylin, who received her wish from Make-A-Wish a few years ago, and it was her dream to give that wish. So she is hosting a golf outing at Beach Hollow Golf Course on June 26th. They're going to have a chicken dinner and lots of prizes. It's only $35 to sponsor a hole out there, and all proceeds are going to Make-A-Wish. Shaylin's number is 989-284-0738, and I think it's just wonderful that she got her wish, and she is hoping that another child will get her wish.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. We just had, as a matter of fact, we had somebody from Make-A-Wish on not too long ago. It's a great organization.
It's a fantastic organization.
Yeah,
Yes.
it truly is. So let's talk about the future in Auburn and events coming up this year. Corn Festival, for example, is it returning, of course?
Corn Festival is returning on the 7th of July. Also, the first event that's coming up is it's going to be our first annual Spring Lawn and Garden Extravaganza. That is on Saturday, May 21st from 10 till 2. We're still accepting vendors at so very reasonable. We're going to have lawn and garden art, live plants, shrubs, trees, seeds, hanging baskets, and also new edge sharpening will be there. And this gentleman can sharpen all of your lawn and garden tools to get you ready to get out in the yard and the garden and get things prepared for spring.
And where is that going to be at?
That's going to be in Auburn Park, right under the big green pavilion.
All right. Then what? What's next?
We also have the Auburn Williams Lions Club is sponsoring a summer concert series. We have some fantastic people coming in June. They are a classic rock group, and they feature Auburn's own Todd Walraven is going to be down there. And then in July, we have Lori Middlebrook. As everyone knows, she's a fantastic country music star, and the Cornpone Band is going to join her. And then in August, for our big finale, August 19th, 20th, 21st, we have the beautiful Amy Petty. And we also have Donnie Brown and Stone Street Revival, and Donnie Brown is formerly of the Verve Pipe. And then on Sunday afternoon, we're having a wonderful picnic, and we're having Frank and Jude there, and they're going to do some spiritual songs and family-friendly, easy rock and country, and we're going to have some food trucks. Really fun time.
Well, tell everybody.
Only $5.
$5. Wow. Tell everybody again where they can get the information online.
You can email me at Robin Devereaux. It's ROBINDEVEREAUX and I'll be happy to give you information. You can also call me at 989-928-3561.
Excellent. We'll talk to you again down the road and look forward to visiting Auburn.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right, Robin. Have a great day.
You too, Art.
Bye-bye now. Robin Devereaux from Auburn. We thank her for spending time with us this morning. We'll be back to close out and move on to the farm show after these notes.
Hometown feel and big time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel. This is a getaway that makes you feel